Nation against nation, brother against
Good
brother.
evening and welcome to Deliverance Church Langata. This is the Biblical Perspective program that comes to you from this place, and I'm so honored to have a gentleman friend of mine who has been going through battles. The last time he had to do a meeting here was just when COVID was declared and they discontinued meetings. We had planned a revival for him. And then after now, COVID came and other things happened. Then he got sick. And he is here as a testimony of God's faithfulness for healing. And this is none other than Bishop Jonathan Gitau.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good.
And good to see you strong.
Yes, the Lord has done it.
This is a wonderful Lord.
Yes.
Because I will never forget one time I intercepted you in Cullen Shopping Center when you were headed to Kikuyu Hospital.
Yes.
And I was just pleading with God and saying, Lord, heal this man as a testimony of your healing power. And I still believe that you will be strong, you will recover and become stronger, and you will come here and preach again.
I will. I'm ready to do it. There is no COVID now. We can organize a revival meetings.
Yeah.
At God's time anyway.
At God's time. We will wait for the timing of the Lord.
But in the meantime,
yes.
I thank God for what He has done.
Yes.
He has raised me from near death.
Yes.
Where I was confined. Twice I collapsed in the home.
Yes.
And they had to rush me to hospital, sometimes at night, sometimes in the day.
Yes.
All these things happened. I was unconscious for a long time until I recovered.
Yes.
You see, they brought one of my relatives who lives away from Kenya,
Yes.
ordered for a wheelchair because I couldn't walk again.
Yes.
But one of my sons said, please, let us not use it.
Yes.
Let us send it to a totally invalid person.
Yes.
Because this one will rise up. He will walk again. Now, even exercise him to walk again. And
Right,
we did it in the bedroom, and we went outside
Yes.
until I was able to walk on my own. Now I'm walking 2 kilometers and back from the house
every day?
Almost every day.
Wow.
Yes, I do
2 kilometers.
Yes.
Wow. That is
Total
amazing. 4. That is amazing. I really would like to pray that you will continue to experience God's favor upon your life.
Yeah.
And God will continue to give you new strength because it is God. It is just the grace of God. In what I see you, I am very excited. And I congratulate your sons and also your wife. And thank you for bringing her. Because there are times when those are the support system that you need.
Yeah.
And I think they have worked very hard.
Yes.
Now, the reason I want us to discuss about the issue of the Kenyan economy is because one time you worked for government, and right now, the CS Treasury has told us that Kenya is in a hole economically. And recently we had the Deputy President tell governors, I know you want 480 billion.
Yeah, 470.
480, whatever. But we are telling you what we think we can afford is 380 billion. So, in your own thinking, what went wrong? Because this country was in very good economic footing during the former, who is now deceased, Mwai Kibaki, who employed, I think, his economic knowledge and set this country on a good economic standing. So, as an elder, what really went wrong?
Now, it's unfortunate that when politics gets inducted into economy,
Yeah.
everything goes down.
Yes.
people who don't understand about monetary systems
Yes.
would want to do things
Yeah.
and without considering the
Yeah.
effect.
The effects, yes.
Now, it's good they initiated a lot of development programs like
Yes.
roads and other infrastructure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they sourced money not from the origin, not from the real economic sources,
Yeah, like taxes.
taxes. They didn't get anything from taxes, but they borrowed.
Borrowed, yes.
So there was heavy borrowing for money that was unfortunately not utilized up to 100% the way it should have been utilized. You find, because you have borrowed money, a road that would cost 400 million is costing 2 billion. Just because there is, it's like easy money.
Easy money.
That's misunderstanding of money and economics.
Economy.
Now, we began to think during the last term
Yeah, yes.
where there was overborrowing
Yes.
and a lot of corruption.
Yes.
Corruption is a giant that has invaded this country like Goliath invaded Israel
Yes.
for the last 40 years.
Yes.
Just like Goliath invaded Israel and they threatened for 40 years, corruption has come in and deeply entrenched itself in the system of this country.
Yes.
So that's how we began thinking. Corruption and overborrowing of money,
Yeah.
and people failing to pay taxes.
People failing to pay taxes.
Yes.
Now that you have mentioned taxes, I am very, very convinced that the only money the government spends reasonably is money that has come from tax collection. In the country of Uganda, which is our neighbor, there's a lady who Museveni gave the assignment as the one that was going to be the one to do the taxes for the country. It's a Christian woman. That Christian woman became so effective that she was invited to speak at the Global Leadership Summit in Chicago, Barrington, because of how she was able to liberate the country, because of creating an atmosphere where people were willing to pay tax. And my thinking is this, and I'm very convinced, and I want to make a very special appeal to the Commissioner General, Income Tax, the Commissioner General, Kenya Revenue Authority, to spend time and think how they can engage or convert some of the officers that are in the revenue collection to become public relations officers, to go into the communities and tell people, please do not cheat on your taxes. Because when you cheat on the taxes, you are cheating yourself. Why? Because if the government does not have money and it has to borrow, then every Kenyan will continue to dig deeper into debt. Because there are certain government services that must be taken care of. We have a military to take care of, we have a police force to take care of, we have a civil service to take care of, we have education system to finance, we have medical. So there are so many things. But having said that, what in your very, very honest opinion would help us rehabilitate ourselves so that we can come out of the state we are in.
Tax all the taxable people.
Tax all the taxable people.
Yes, those who have resources
Yes.
should pay taxes, because the small person
Yeah.
who is employed or self-employed, they pay taxes.
Yes.
But there is a class of people who don't pay taxes. Either they avoid taxation, or they totally evade, or they corrupt their will not to pay taxes. As you said, let us employ faithful tax collectors.
Faithful tax collectors. Yes.
Like what you say
About
happened
Uganda.
to Uganda.
Yes.
When you when you employ faithful tax collectors, it means they will not be corrupted to cover taxable income in the person.
Yes.
That's the only solution.
Yes.
Tax all the taxable people
Yes.
without discrimination.
Without discrimination.
Because it's the small man who pays, but the big one there, they are called as the untouchables.
The untouchables.
Yes.
And is that not why we are having a trouble now? Because the president has said there's no sacred cows. Everybody has to pay tax.
I wish that I pray that you will keep that word strictly.
Yeah.
Because unless a serious action is taken against tax evaders and those who avoid, this country will go to the dogs.
Yes.
Down deep in the valley of defeat and destruction.
Yes.
But if everybody paid taxes, we even don't need to borrow money from overseas. We have the money here. We have our resources.
Yes.
We would better build 1 kilometer of road network with our own money than build 100 kilometers on borrowed funds. Yeah.
Wow, wow. That's a great statement.
Yes.
That we would rather build 1 kilometer
with our own resources.
With our own resources than 100 kilometers on borrowed money.
Yes.
Wow, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are sure the next mile will be constructed, and the next one, and the next one.
Slowly as we go.
Of that. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's a great, great statement you have said. And it's my belief and my confidence that there is something that this country must do. Number one, I have always been concerned because I've heard that one of the areas in which we have a lot of evaders of tax actually land roads.
Yes, yes.
And the president gave the statistics, I wish I can mention, about the taxable people in a country, in a small country like even, Rwanda, in comparison even to Kenya. And it's evidence that we have a lot of people who are cheating on tax. And it is very important, and that's why I'm saying we need people who will educate people about the critical aspect of having, people pay taxes not because they are being compelled to, but they find that I want to be patriotic as a Kenyan and do that which is good for my country. I want to be involved in nation building. I think that is a great thing to presuppose and to desire. And now, considering that, now I want us to now focus on something else, and we may go back to the issue of tax as soon as we can. But right now, as we are seated here, there has been a lot of anxiety being created in the minds of Kenyans because of somebody called a whistleblower, who has brought a claim that the former prime minister is the one who who won the elections of August 9, 2022. And we know too well that the elections were announced by the right person, which was the chairman of the commission, and the opposition went to court, and the Supreme Court made a unanimous decision to uphold the elections of one Dr. William Samoei Ruto. What do you see in all these things? What's going on?
I see evil.
Evil.
Intentions.
Okay.
Because in the first place, whoever is calling himself a whistleblower, blower,
it's not even known.
Has come very late.
Great.
And nobody can believe him.
Yes.
Unless he's the one who sent him.
Yes.
To whistleblow.
Yeah.
Because they had all the time to go to the Supreme Court.
Which they did.
They did. And this whistleblower was nowhere. If he had the information as he claims to have in his whistleblowing, why did he have to wait until the elections are announced and later disputed?
Yeah.
So this is one of the giants that the Lord is speaking about, destroying giants, liars and manipulators of the country's system. They have no other opportunity. This is their last time.
Now, let me ask you this, because you are an elderly person, in your own observation, considering that already we have seen, I think yesterday, the paper reports that, is that yesterday? When or is the day before yesterday, when the president met about 30 members of parliament from Jubilee. Is this yesterday? And the day before, he had met, I think, 9 members of the ODM party. And all are saying, we recognize you to be president, and we are going to work to support your government in serving the Kenyan people. Let me ask you this. Where do you think this idea of somebody saying that he can decide not to regard the president as president, what use is it?
Well, nobody has power to disregard and ignore the fact that the president was elected by Kenyans.
Yes.
And he won the elections in a fair game.
Yes.
Number 2, His Excellency, President William Ruto, is on the seat of throne by the authority of God. Amen. After our prayers.
Amen.
When we prayed and the Lord said,
yes,
I have heard your prayers in Kenya, and there will no longer be chaos during the elections.
Yes.
And I want you to pray that God may put the right person on the seat of throne through prayers and not through manipulation, not through rigging and not through deception, but by influencing the individual people to vote for the right candidate.
Yes.
So he is there as a result of prayers.
Yes.
Not rigging.
Not rigging.
Prayers.
I know that.
Prayers work wonders. And that was my message last year was, the man whose basket will be filled with more prayers will be the winner of the next election. I had that prophetic utterance, and I made it to the churches and everybody who cared to listen. It's prayer. It's our God who has done it. And I want you to know, and everybody else who is listening to know, that what God has passed and what God has decided cannot be changed by a human being.
Yes, yes.
You cannot change God's
verdict. You can't
verdict.
change God's verdict.
We must be able to see God on the throne of power in this country. We have been praying for a long time, And in no other time did we have such a peaceful election.
Yeah, it was very peaceful.
God did it. He's
God
the
did it.
source of peace.
Amen.
Yes.
I really celebrate what you are saying, and especially considering that you are not, what you're saying is not informed by sheer emotions or whatever. You are an elderly man who has lived a full life by the grace of God. You have been involved, and again, you have been somebody who has served the government as an accountant. You are a person who has been preaching across this country for a long time, not only locally, but even overseas. And that gives you the authority to address some of the things you're addressing, because it's very, very, very important that we tell Kenyans, don't allow somebody to fool you. One of the things that we must be shouted everywhere in this country is that don't let politicians fool you. And I know I had somebody say now, listen, this person is trying to be relevant. Maybe he's very uncomfortable because of the way the president was received in his backyard in the 3 counties he visited the other day. So he's trying to counter that kind of acceptance in that area. But really, for what? Why do you want to drive rebellion in a country when Kenyans are really facing a very, very serious hardship because of the weather? Listen, this country is just the grace of God that has kept us. Remember how COVID negatively affected the country. Even before the COVID time, then we had a time that locusts swept in this country and they were doing so much. Then we are told right now, as we are here, that we are experiencing drought, the worst drought in 40 years. Some of the areas like Kajiado, where you come from,
Yeah.
they have said they have had no rain in the last 3 years.
We have had no rain for the last 3 years. It's God who has sustained us. We have large farms and
Yeah.
livestock.
Yeah.
But we have never had rain for 3 years. Before I forget, you mentioned about members of the assembly recognizing the government.
Yes. And even, like now, members of parliament from both the ODM, 9 of them were with the president the other day, then yesterday 30. And then you have the man who's talked about the whistleblower, who is the general secretary of Jubilee. He's still going out there talking. What is he talking about?
What happens is you cannot change God's verdict.
Yeah.
People have awakened to reality.
Yeah.
That for all the times they have been politicking,
Yeah.
in a not positively but negatively, they achieved nothing.
Yes.
So since they have discovered that politics without action, negative politics never brings development.
Yeah.
People want development, not destruction, not demonization. They want development. Yes. There is a difference between developing the minds of people and demonizing them.
Wow, demonizing them.
Yes. So they are development conscious. They don't want anyone to demonize them. That's only a beginning. Everybody is waking up to reality.
Wow, 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 wow. Now, the person I was referring to, who completely transformed the tax collection in Uganda, was Ms. Ariane Kagina, who improved the financial performance and infused discipline of Uganda Revenue Authority in 2006. Authority. In 2006, Kagina took the Corporate Leadership Award by Destiny Consultant, an industry group, for turning around the performance of the tax body since her appointment to head the organization. Can you imagine? A lady.
Yes.
Alan Catherine Kagina.
When I was working for the government,
Yes.
I refused to be corrupted.
Yes.
I refused bribes.
Yeah.
If people made mistakes And I discovered during my auditing period that things were wrong. I would never sit down.
Yeah.
I would rather drink tea without milk,
Yes.
eat vegetables like a rabbit for 1 year
Yes.
without meat,
Yes.
than sell my country through corruption. I decided never to take money.
Yes.
I used to bring money in envelopes, and I said, I don't need your money. I'm hungry, but my heart is satisfied. I refused. One can refuse, one can
Yes,
stand
yes.
firm. I wish this country and the generation that is in office can wake up to reality
Yes.
and decide enough is enough.
Yes.
I don't want anybody's money. I better walk in rags and without shoes. Like I had one pair of shoes that opened up
Yeah.
in the front like a mouth, and one pair of socks, and no clothes, nothing, one counter suit.
Yeah.
But today,
Yeah.
I'm alive because I refuse to be bribed.
Yes.
Majority of my people, after they retired,
Yeah.
they went away. And 80% of them are no longer in this world because they used to live comfortably in the office, and when they came out, the little pension would not be sufficient.
Yeah.
So God rewards. I wish this young generation know that God rewards the faithful.
Oh, God rewards the faithful.
Yes.
Say, that's a great statement.
Let this be my last statement.
Yeah.
God rewards the faithful.
As we come near drawing closer to the finishing of this program, I want to make some very, very critical statements. You know, falsehood cannot give you progress. And I want to say this, as speaking from the altar of Deliverance Church Langata. Those people who are hoodwinking Kenyans by giving them falsehood, life will judge you because you are taking advantage of people who, some of them who are so ignorant, and give them promises of things that you know you cannot deliver. I want to say, Father, if you're not an elected leader, if you are an appointed leader, you can't talk on behalf of people. What gives you moral authority to talk is because Kenyans gave you a mandate. Those who are trying to drum up for confrontation with the government, you are wasting your time. And history will judge you so harshly for wanting to rebel against a legally constituted government. I want you to close with a short prayer for this program.
Jehovah and God of heaven, we thank you because from the time